Yes, we're back again. I have my Mr. Rogers sweater on. I'm sitting in my outdoor chair, and we're ready for another children's message. Thanks for coming back. Again, these are just fun little ways for you to continue to participate at home. I know that you probably get lots of fun stuff from your school teachers, and so we wanted to make sure you had something from the people at your church as well, because this is all still really important. Today's story, again, comes to us from the Jesus Storybook Bible. Maybe if you have a version of it, it actually has a cover. That's pretty cool. But we're going to be reading from the Jesus Storybook Bible, and Evelyn's going to read to us one called The Good Shepherd. The Good Shepherd. If you wanted to follow along at home, this is in the big Bibles, the ones with all the tiny print, it's Psalm 23. So if you wanted to read and compare and contrast, that would be a good one to look at. You can also look at 2 Samuel chapter 7. That one will tell you a little bit about King David, who's mentioned in this story. But that's enough talking from me for now. We'll turn it over to Evelyn with the story.
The Good Shepherd. David was a shepherd, but when God looked at him, he saw a king. Sure enough, when David grew up, that's just what he became. And David was a great king. He had a heart like God's heart, full of love. Now, that didn't mean he was perfect, because he did some terrible things. He even murdered a man. No, David made a big mess of his life, but God can take even the biggest mess and make it work in his plan. I need a new heart, Lord, David prayed, because mine is full of sin. Make me clean inside. God heard David's prayer. He forgave David, and he made David a promise. I will make you great, David, and one day a king will be born into your family, and he will heal the whole world. Did you know that David was a songwriter, too? In fact, his songs were so good they would have been in the top 40 charts if they'd been invented then. David's songs are like prayers. They are called psalms, and this is one is called the Song of the Shepherd. It's probably number 1 on the psalm charts, and it goes like this. God is my shepherd, and I am his little lamb. He feeds me, he guides me, he looks after me. I have everything I need. Inside my heart is very quiet, as quiet as lying still in soft green grass, in a meadow by a little stream. Even when I walk through the dark, scary, lonely places, I won't be afraid because my shepherd knows where I am. He is here with me, he keeps me safe, he rescues me, he makes me strong and brave. He is getting wonderful things for me, especially for me, everything I have ever dreamed of. He fills my heart so full of happiness I can't hold it all inside. Wherever I go, God's never stopping, never giving up, unbreaking, always and forever love will go too. God gave David that song to sing to his people, so they could know that he loved him and would always look after them, like a shepherd loves his sheep. And one day, God was going to do something that would inspire thousands upon thousands of new songs. God was going to show his people once and for all just how much he loved them. Another shepherd was coming, a greater shepherd. He would be called the Good Shepherd, and their shepherd was going to lead all of God's lambs back to the place where they had always belonged, close to God's heart.
Okay, here I am. I've got my work coat on. It's time to put the lessons of this story into practice. So here's what I want us to try this week. Your practice challenge. We heard this story, and I love the way that it tells it in the Jesus Storybook Bible, is it talks about how David was a musician, and he liked to write songs to God. And then they share with us the song of the Good Shepherd, this famous Psalm 23 that we hear all the time in church. But what I really love is how it's talking about how David expressed his faith and connected with God through singing and this musical art form. And so what I want to challenge you to do this week is to write a prayer or to make something artistic for God, expressing your faith, expressing what you believe, expressing how you feel about God at this particular point in time. I'll let you know, too, David wrote a whole bunch of songs, and some of them are really happy, and some of them are sad, and some of them are even angry. And that's all okay. This is all an appropriate way to talk to God. But your challenge, your practice, is to make something that expresses your faith. Make something that is a prayer or a message to God. You can make a piece of artwork and maybe draw a Bible passage on it. You could write a song like David did. Write a song to God about how much you love God or what you need God to hear from you today. You could do sidewalk chalk outside and just draw some pretty pictures that way. There's a whole bunch of possibilities, and I just can't wait to see what you come up with. So make something, be creative, and express your faith in this way this week. I'm Pastor Nate. Thanks for joining us for the Children's Message. Bye, everybody.